Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the Doghouse Racing League Shoney's Tuesday Night Truck Series. Happy New Year, everybody. Glad to have you back as we get ready to close out the regular season here in the Doghouse Racing League here at Daytona International Speedway. Of course, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight and getting ready to finish our regular season here with the Doghouse Racing League. Let's take a look at the points coming into tonight. We see Jeremiah Stutzman up at the top of the board. Kevin Thompson sits back in second. Justin McMahon back in that third spot. Jonathan Jennings and Adam Gardner make up your top five. Then Christopher Simon, Kevin Powell, Mike Hayes, Mike Leftwich, and Steve Gerber, your top 10. It's been a couple weeks since we've had trucks on track with the holiday season. I'm glad to have them back here tonight as we get ready for 40 laps around this historic Daytona International Speedway. Of course, we see Gary Amijo out on track right now, getting some qualifying run underway. We got other trucks out on track, getting some drafting practice underway. Of course, we'll be talking a lot about the draft here tonight. We know that a couple trucks in a line are going to go faster than a single truck, and the more trucks they can get lined up, the faster that line's going to go. We'll be using words tonight like energy and momentum, side draft, the bump draft. We'll talk about that all night long. As we see these trucks are really out of shape here as they make their way through the corner, which is unusual. Usually these trucks handle better in the corners than they do on the straightaways. We saw much of the same in the SCSRA Truck Series just a couple weeks ago when they ran Daytona as well. So look for much of the same here tonight. You see these drivers getting double file or single file right now, trying to line up, try to get used to hanging out in the draft with each other. See this pack being led currently by the 27 of Dwayne Honeycutt. And the thing about super speedway racing is it's anybody's game. You don't necessarily have to have the fastest truck to get the win here tonight, but it helps. Qualifying will be key because you can stay up front. But the most important part of the race tonight will be green flag pit stops. Of course, going from 190 miles an hour down to just 60 miles an hour can be a challenge. So watch for these drivers. We've seen a lot of practice of the pit stops already here tonight. We might see another one or two of those before we get qualifying underway in just 1 minute. Again, we want to thank everybody who's joined us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight as we kick off the final race of the regular season before the playoffs get underway. So we watch these trucks make their way around the track for the final time before qualifying gets underway. We see a little bit of contact there. Is great save, though, from behind. As we saw a couple trucks down on the apron, but able to hold on to it and save it. And no real damage. Of course, we know the Doghouse Racing League does not use resets, so any damage occurred during the race will have to either be repaired or you will have to retire for the night. Qualifying getting ready to get underway here. And it looks like the 33 of Hunter Simpson is the first truck to make his way out onto the racetrack. Other drivers making their way out on their qualifying attempt. Jonathan Jennings out on track, along with Daniel Wilkerson just making his way out onto the racetrack as well. Again, qualifying is not as important here tonight as some tracks, as we've seen drivers make their way to the front, to the back in the same lap. More importantly, it's about who you know, who your friends are, and who's there to help you out. Because winning this race will not be done by yourself, that is for sure. Wilkerson making his way down the backstretch. And usually with these trucks, their first lap will be the fastest out of the two. Well, Wilkerson's going to stay up against the wall, trying to keep as much of that momentum as he can. He makes his way down the short chute towards the start-finish line. Hunter Simpson goes fastest on his first attempt, first one across the start-finish line. Wilkerson's going to slide back in that second position as Jonathan Jennings goes to the pole. See Wilkerson trying to hold that yellow line through the corner, trying to take the shortest way around the track. Keep as much speed as he can. Down into turns 3 and 4 right there on the yellow line. Just a little higher off the yellow line than he'd probably want to be. So he makes his way down to the start-finish line. And Wilkerson's going to go P3 on his qualifying attempt. Justin McMahon just crossing the start-finish line to start his second lap. His first lap's going to be good enough for the 5th position. As Jonathan Jennings currently on the pole. See if McMahon's able to knock him off the pole here as he comes down the short chute down towards the start-finish line and across the stripe. And McMahon will actually run second, slower on his second lap. Kevin Powell now making his way down to the start-finish line. And Kevin Powell is going to jump up into the 7th position. Joey Beck making his way now to the stripe. And Joey Beck is going to go 6th fastest with just 11 seconds left. As you see Gary Armijo out on track. Don't think he's going to have enough time to get any laps in here tonight. So we're going to get ready to take a look at our starting grid. And starting on pole tonight is the 91 of Jonathan Jennings with DJ Honeycutt starting his outside in position number 2. The 33 of Hunter Simpson, he'll be rolling off from the 3rd position with Mike Hayes in the 99, rolling off from 4th. 5th place, Daniel Wilkerson with Joey Beck to his outside, round out row number 3. Justin McMahon and Kevin Powell back in row number 4. Row 5, Marshall Johnson in the 31 with Rusty Lynn in the 83 to his outside in row 5. Then Donnie Honeycutt and Adam Gardner will round out row number 6. Dwayne Honeycutt will roll off from 13th with Steve Gerber to his outside in 14th. Jeremy Cootie in the 170 will roll off from 15th with Andrew St. Cor in the 16th position. Ricky Hudges in the 55 will roll off 17th with Tyler Honeycutt starting from 18th. 19th will be Kevin Thompson and Jeffrey Wimmer to his outside in the 20th spot. Chuck Cobb rolls off 21st with Mike Leftwich in the 22nd position. Chris Leftwich 23rd. Eddie Rivers back in the 24th position. 25th will be Miguel Cora and Gary Armijo will round out the field here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. Again, we want to thank all of our great partners here tonight that make this possible. Starting with, of course, our series sponsor, Shoney's. Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Truck Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast par and take home one of their strawberry pies. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Of course, those whole strawberry pies are great for the whole family. Office gatherings, holidays, picnics, or any celebration you'd like to make just a little bit sweeter. Of course, we also have our great partners over at Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Check out raceepi.com. Of course, you can also check out our web store over at intensitybroadcasting.com for all your hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, as well as some of our novelty merchandise as well. So you can check all that out over at intensitybroadcasting.com. Of course, the Butt Kicker, another one of our great partners here at Intensity Broadcasting. The Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed all around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. As we're getting ready to go green flag racing, the pace car taking that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Jonathan Jennings going to lead them down to the green flag, which is in the air. And we are racing here at Daytona. DJ Honeycutt are getting a good push here on Jennings. He's able to push himself ahead of the 33. As they make their way down into turn number 1. I take that back. That's the 45 of DJ Honeycutt up on the high side. Getting a push here from the 99 of Mike Hayes as they make their way down the backstretch for the first time. We see Honeycutt jumping up to the high side now, getting a push from the 99 of Hayes. And here comes the 91 of Jonathan Jennings with a push from the 33 of Hunter Simpson. Daniel Wilkerson right there back in that third row as they make their way off of turn number 4 for the first time. Honeycutt up on the high side, just barely ahead. No, that Jonathan Jennings is going to lead the first lap here tonight at Daytona. So we see the field make their way down into turns 1 and 2. And already we're starting to see some separation between these two groups. You have your lead pack here, which is most of the field. And then a little further back, we've got Tyler Honeycutt leading the second group here, just a little bit further back. Actually, I take that back. It's Andrew St. Cor leading the second group back here. So you can see these drivers kind of hanging back a little bit, trying to be a little bit conservative. We know at any time the big one can strike. We see one driver up into the wall just a little bit. We saw the smoke flying as they made contact with the wall as they complete lap number 2. Jonathan Jennings out in front with a big push from Hunter Simpson. TJ Honeycutt trying to get that high lane working with Mike Hayes right there on the back bumper. And right now, the bottom line has the most trucks, and neither line is really organized. You don't see any real pushing or bumping right now. Everybody's giving each other a little bit of room, trying to figure out how these trucks are going to handle. Now we see Hunter Simpson giving a big shove to the 91 of Jonathan Jennings as Daniel Wilkerson watches from behind. And that third truck doesn't want to make contact. That truck in the second spot, they can push, and if they can get right up to that back bumper and make connection, they can push all the way around the track if they have a good connection. As we see another driver get up into the wall again as Mike Hayes is going to duck down onto the bottom there. And try to see who that was. Yeah, that was Joey Beck that got up into the wall. I think he might have made contact the first time as well. But if you're able to stay right there on that back bumper, you can push pretty much all the way around the track. You don't want to make contact with the driver in front of you while you're in the corner here. But if you're on the straightaway and you're hooked up, you can continue to just push all the way around the track until, of course, your engine temps get too hot. These trucks do have a very small opening at the bottom of the bumper that allows air to get in. And when you're tucked up against somebody's back bumper like that, it reduces the airflow coming into that engine bay and can really cause these trucks to overheat quickly. So watch for drivers have to peek out a little bit. You see Simpson doing just that. Peeking out, just, oh, now he's having a little connection issue, but just peeking out just a little bit up to the high side, getting a little bit of air into that grill. As now Joey Beck is trying to push Honeycutt up into the lead as they go down into the corner. And these trucks are a little bit more stable in the corner than they are on the straightaways, and that's because when they're in the corner, the suspension's loaded, and these trucks are able to use that banking to hold that truck in line. And that's why here at Daytona, Talladega, you see a lot of incidents happen on the backstretch because you can see just how much those trucks move around as they go down the backstretch. Steve Gerber making some moves right now. He's already up into the 9th position, up 5 spots, trying to work that high line, and he's right there behind the 83 of Rusty Lynn. The field makes their way down the backstretch, and you'll see just how much these trucks snake around down the backstretch. And you see Jennings kind of working that side draft, pushing up the track a little bit, trying to keep those drivers up against the wall, trying to take the air off their spoiler. And you'll hear you hear them talk about side draft all the time, especially these trucks. They do a ton of side drafting because of how big and square they are, how big that rear spoiler is. These trucks move a lot of air, and think of it like a boat going through water. That big wake that you see behind, well, the wind coming off these, the air coming off these trucks is kind of the same thing. And if you can get that wake to get right onto that back spoiler by pinching that driver either up or down, that can actually slow that line down because that driver has all that extra air being dumped on that spoiler. It acts like a big parachute. Right now, though, everybody's kind of just giving each other some room, not really pushing each other too hard or side drafting too hard as DJ Honeycutt makes his way up into the lead off the front bumper of Joey Beck. And the field is all together once again. We saw earlier how we had 2 completely different groups, and right now the entire field pretty much back together except for this group back here. And this is Chuck Cobb, Mike Leftwich, Miguel Cora. They are about 8 seconds off the pack. And it looks like some damage to the right side of that 60 machine. You see that truck come by here, you'll see, yeah, quite a bit of damage to the right side of that truck. And that's going to slow that truck down quite a bit. What else is going to slow this group down is not running single file. Running side by side like that is not going to help you out at all. Also, we saw Jeffrey Wimmer also has quite a bit of damage. Finds himself on pit road right now, trying to get some of that damage fixed. Not really sure what happened to Wimmer. Don't really see anything on the information there, so the event viewer doesn't show any events that would cause the drivers to be on pit road, so I'm not really sure exactly what happened. But now we see Kevin Powell in that 93 up here at the front. And here comes the 83 of Rusty Lynn down on the low side. We saw Joey Beck doing some pushing earlier, and now he's right back there on the back bumper of Rusty Lynn, trying to move Lynn up to the lead. And we see DJ Honeycutt's been shuffled back into the 7th position. So that's just how quickly things can happen. We just pulled away for a moment to check on the rest of the field, and all of a sudden our one driver went from the lead back into the 7th position. But I don't expect to see him back there too much longer. He might make his way back up to the front pretty quickly as another driver gets out of line. That was the 31 of Marshall Johnson, making his way down to the apron, trying to get out of line just a little bit. Not sure if he was forced down there or not. Here comes Rusty Lynn, though, on the bottom side with that big push from Jonathan Jennings. I'm sorry, with a big push from Joey Beck. And Rusty Lynn's going to lead that lap as we are 10 laps in to this 40-lap event. When you have this many trucks running this close together, it's not if a big incident's going to happen, but when a big incident's going to happen. And usually at these super speedways, we see the big one. Although this Doghouse Racing League series has been very short on cautions all season long, so we may not see a caution at all. We might see 40 laps of green flag racing. We might see a big wreck that takes out half the field. We saw one truck up into the wall yet again. We saw the smoke flying in the back. Doesn't look like it killed anybody's momentum, so everybody is still nose to tail. Minus those 3 trucks that are on an island back there by themselves. And Jeffrey Wimmer still down on pit road. How about Chris Leftwich in this 13 machine up on the high side? Currently up 14 positions from where he started. Same with Tyler Honeycutt right in front of him. Up 11 positions from where he started. Eddie Rivers back in 13th. Another one who's up 11 positions from where they started. So quite a few drivers making some big moves as we are quickly approaching our halfway mark. They run 2 by 2 by 2. Looks about 8 rows deep. Talk about some big movers to the front. How about Mike Hayes? Oh, big wreck. Wreck happening right now. There it is. The big one as they continue to pile in. See Andrew St. Cyr involved. The 8, Steve Gerber, who I said was just having a fantastic run. He's caught up in it as well. Ricky Hudges involved. Adam Gardner got a little piece of it. And that is going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. So you can see exactly where this started. It says it starts right in front of Mike Hayes. You see Adam Gardner trying to force it 3 wide, makes some contact with the 31, gets up into St. Cyr. Hard lick there for the 8 of Steve Gerber. Oh, just barely gets hit from the side there, the 99. And then as you see, just nowheres for these drivers to go, not able to slow down quick enough. Looks like the 2 of Garamijo was able to avoid any contact there. Just kind of looped it up the track just a little bit. Let's ride it back here and ride along with Armijo here, see if we can see how that looked from his point of view. We'll go right on the roll bar here and follow him along. As he was able to get right through it in the entire field on pit road, as we see a lot of drivers getting some damage fixed, as DJ Honeycutt is the first truck back onto the track. So just a few laps away from our halfway stage. Of course, no stage break, just our halfway stage that will pay out points. And DJ Honeycutt is currently up in the top spot. Of course, all season long, we'll continue to keep that Adam Strong logo there in the bottom right corner. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are still with the Adam Looney family after Adam Looney lost his battle with liver cancer just before the holidays. So, again, our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to that family. But here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. DJ Honeycutt's going to choose the low side. Chris Leftwich up to the high side. He's up 21 positions, Leftwich is. So great job for him. Both him and Honeycutt both took 2 tires, along with McMahon currently up into the 4th position with a 2-tire stop. Jonathan Jennings takes 4. He falls back into the 3rd spot. Of course, tires don't mean as much here as they do at some other tracks. Tire wear here at Daytona and Talladega is pretty minimal, so expect not much of a difference between those 2 trucks on 2 and 4 tires. The real question is, are they going to have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race? So here we go. Pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And DJ Honeycutt's going to lead them back down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing in a big jump for Honeycutt, which is not what you want to see here at a super speedway, because right now he's going to have the rest of the field barreling down on him as they make their way down into turn number 1. How's it ready? We see Jonathan Jennings jumping up to that high side with that big momentum, that push from behind. Here comes Leftwich giving a shove to the 91. And McMahon's right there as well as they come down the backstretch. Now Joey Beck hooked up with DJ Honeycutt as they come down into turn number 3. Let's see who has the advantage coming off turn number 3. It looks like Jennings his partner there, that's Leftwich, pushed up the track just a little bit. Not really going to help that high lane out, as now Joey Beck jumps up to the high side. And he's going to look for a push from Jennings. He's going to try to take the lead here as a gripe. And Joey Beck's going to lead that lap, as we are 3 laps away from halfway. Honeycutt now gets a big push from Kevin Thompson, who's made his way back up to the front, up 16 positions. They also have the one of Tyler Honeycutt right there as well, as Thompson gets that DJ Honeycutt machine a little bit out of shape. And Joey Beck's going to capitalize on that, trying to take himself back up to the lead. But here comes Honeycutt back on the low side as the field rips off at turn number 4. As they cross the line, this time DJ Honeycutt's going to lead by just a nose. 2 laps to go in the stage. We see Jennings making some moves there in the middle there, trying to figure out which lane he wants to go with. Here comes Tyler Honeycutt now coming to the back bumper of Kevin Thompson. We see Donnie, I believe that's Donnie Honeycutt down on the low side as well. As he's trying to help out this group here on the low side. Honeycutt now able to get clear, almost clear of the 85 of Beck as they make their way down the backstretch here. Bottom lane's a little bit more organized right now, so watch that bottom lane to get a bit of a run here as they make their way down into turn number 3. And Joey Beck's going to tuck down in front of Kevin Thompson. Thompson now looking down to the low side. We come across the line for our last lap, our midway sponsor, which is Tiffany Leftwich and Pink Zebra. Kevin Thompson now trying to get out in front of Joey Beck here. See flames shooting out the sides of some of these trucks as they have to get off the gas, keep from running into each other. Down into turn number 3. Kevin Thompson's going to have the lead off of turn number 4. And there you have it. So your halfway sponsor is Tiffany Leftwich. From wax and warmers to oils and soaps, Pink Zebra has you covered. To place an order, visit our halfway sponsor, Tiffany Leftwich's page at pinkzebrahome.com/sprinkle butterflies, or you can click the link below down in description. Now we see Beck kind of stuck in that sucker hole in the middle. That's not where you want to be. He's got no help from behind, and he is just falling backwards quickly. Trying to find a spot where he can sneak up behind somebody, trying to push his way up there. We see the 33 of Hunter Simpson get up into the wall. That's going to allow Beck to get up on that high line. We have just 18 laps to go. Chris Leftwich, Jonathan Jennings battling back and forth for the lead. Leftwich going to jump up into the high lane in front of Jennings. That's going to allow Kevin Thompson to get the run on the low side. He's got some help from behind in the form of DJ Honeycutt. as they make their way off of turn number 4, coming to 17 laps to go. Laps are ticking away quickly. Will anybody towards the back of the field try to make some desperate moves to get themselves up to the front? See this back group of drivers running a little more single file, a little more cautious. We see the 81 of Chuck Cobb, who is running in the back of the field along with the 60 of Mike Leftwich. They were like 15 seconds off the pack, and now they find themselves right on the tail of the pack. Can they get anything done here? As we have just 16 laps to go. Jonathan Jennings out in front of Justin McMahon. Kevin Thompson now leading that low lane, as Chris Leftwich was shuffled back all the way back to the 9th position. And that's just how fast it can happen as the drivers are coming up on some low lap traffic. And now we see Joey Beck diving down to the bottom. We saw him in the middle lane, falling backwards, fell back into the 12th position. And now look at him. He's right back here battling for the lead as they come through turns 3 and 4. We see Adam Gardner get down out of the way, letting the field come by. We'll have just 15 laps to go. Of course, right in front of our leaders is this group of drivers right here. Is Andrew St. Cyr. And they're going to get down out of the way. Steve Gerber's in this group as well. Marshall Johnson. As the field approaches, they're going to tuck right down on the apron, let the field come by. As they push up the track just a little bit, almost get up in front of the field. That really spread out the middle of the pack. As here comes Kevin Thompson up on the high side. He's going to try to take the lead again. See if he can get a push here from Jonathan Jennings. As that high lane starts to form back up. Kevin Thompson trying to get himself out in front of Joey Beck. Beck, though, with the momentum on the low side, getting a push from DJ Honeycutt. Now Thompson getting a push from Jennings. Thompson's going to clear the 85 of Beck, but here comes Beck back on the low side. Thompson out in front enough. Is he going to tuck down in front of Beck, or is he going to try to drag Jennings along with him? Top lane has the energy now. Jennings is clear. Even McMahon's clear. McMahon's going to dive down to the low side of Jennings. He's going to try to get himself here into the mix. Big momentum out of that 20 machine of McMahon. Trying to get himself to the lead. Trying to get Beck to get connected with him to push him up towards the front, as Kevin Thompson now back on the high side, trying to get some momentum with a push from the 91 of Jennings. McMahon and Beck now have some momentum on their side as they're hooked up well and organized. As Beck now up into the top lane in one truck. That's the 83 of Rusty Lynn, hard up into the outside wall. But he maintains control, and we stay green flag racing as Joey Beck has Kevin Thompson now looking down to the inside. He gave Beck the big push to the front, and then he dumps him, leaves him up on that high side. He's going to take over the race lead, with McMahon giving him the big shove. And here comes DJ Honeycutt with the one of Tyler Honeycutt right behind. So can those two Honeycutts get hooked up enough to get something going here in the late stages of this race? Only 5 trucks up in that high lane. They're looking for a little bit more help, as that bottom lane is starting to be the dominant lane. Kevin Thompson leads Justin McMahon. Now, who in the back here is going to try to jump up? We see Daniel Wilkerson up on that high lane. Jonathan Jennings jumps up to the high side as well. Miguel Cora right there behind Wilkerson as they come down the backstretch. Another truck jumping on a line back there. Believe that was, yeah, that's the 15 of Eddie Rivers. So he's going to jump up there as well and try to make that high lane do something. As we come off of the turn 4 down the short chute to the tri-oval, we'll have just 10 laps to go here at Daytona. Jennings, though, getting a run there on the high side with the help. I believe that is Miguel Cora up on the high side, giving the shove along with Eddie Rivers. A couple more trucks jump up to the high side there. We see Donnie Honeycutt and Mike Hayes up on the high side now. Starting to see a little bit of organization as I believe that was Honeycutt makes the dive down to the low side. Jennings, though, here trying to get a big push from Cora. So Miguel Correa with the big push down the backstretch, pushing Jonathan Jennings in front of Kevin Thompson for just a moment. And now those two trucks are almost clear. Jennings going to pull down in front of Thompson, leaving Correa up on the high side by himself. Now the 15 Eddie Rivers dives down to the bottom side in front of McMahon. That's going to hang that 47 out there all by himself. And a bunch of trucks coming down onto pit road. We were wondering if they were going to be able to make it to the end. It does not look like they will, as a large number of trucks make their way down on the pit road. That's going to leave Miguel Correa, Kevin Thompson, Mike Hayes, Joey Beck, Jeremy Cootie, and Donnie Honeycutt out on track. And Honeycutt in a lot of trouble as he has no drafting help anymore. He has fallen back off of Jeremy Cootie and Joey Beck quickly. So that is disastrous for the 85, the 170, and the 22, as the rest of the field is now making their way off of pit road. Are these three going to dive down pit road this time, trying not to lose as much time? Here they come down onto pit road. Thompson going to stay out. Now Thompson staying out by himself. He's going to be running so much slower than the rest of the pack, and he is in trouble if he's going to try to win this race, unless a caution was to come out that could save him. But when we look at the speed differential, Kevin Thompson coming down the backstretch right now doing 165 by himself, while the rest of the field back here all in line, even though they're not really organized, they're doing 180 miles an hour, 185 miles an hour. So almost 30 miles an hour quicker, as we see Correa making his way off of pit road. And here comes Kevin Thompson. Is he going to come down pit road this time? Yes, he will. But the damage might be done, as Joey Beck has lost it here. Believe this is off of turn number 4. Or this might be going into turn number 2. Able to gather it up, though. I think maybe he was just... Yeah, it looks like he was trying to get off of pit road. Catches the grass a little bit. Gets the tires dirty and then just loses it down there on the apron. Really easy to do here at Daytona. As Kevin Thompson is down off of pit road. Down and away. And he's able to stay out in front of our lead group, but not by much, as you see the speed difference as he is just eaten up, or about to be eaten up by the field. There the field goes by, and Justin McMahon is going to take over the lead. Kevin Thompson's going to fall all the way back to the 12th position. It looks like he's going to completely lose the draft. He's got a little bit of help coming here, but unfortunately, it looks like his chance of winning here may be over, as Justin McMahon now takes over the lead over Jonathan Jennings and DJ Honeycutt. And we see Daniel Wilkerson up on that high lane. He's got some help in the form of Kevin Powell and Hunter Simpson. We know Simpson knows how to push. He was showing it early in the race as we have just 5 laps to go. Donnie Honeycutt getting down out of the way, allowing the field to come by. How about Wilkerson up on that high lane? Has the help he needs. Has the organization out of that top lane. And look at the speed that top lane has, the energy that lane has. As Daniel Wilkerson's going to go up into the lead. Is he going to clear McMahon, or is he going to stay up there? He's going to stay up there with Kevin Powell. Off of turn number 4, coming to 4 laps to go, and Daniel Wilkerson is clear of McMahon. Wilkerson's going to take over the lead. Here comes Powell up on the high side, though. He's got a shove from Hunter Simpson. Again, we've seen Simpson pushing all race long. He knows how to use that front bumper. As the 15 of Eddie Rivers was just really out of shape back there. He's able to gather it up, though, as Daniel Wilkerson out in front, giving a shove from Justin McMahon. More cars up on that high side now as Kevin Powell trying to mount a charge up on the high side. He's got Simpson, Eddie Rivers, Mike Leftwich. I believe that's Chris Leftwich back there as well. It is. Can that top lane get anything going here with 3 laps to go? Daniel Wilkerson, though, out in front. He's going to jump up to the high side to have some lap traffic. The lap traffic's going to stay down on that yellow line. That's going to allow the field to get right on by. Wilkerson back down to the low side. He's working both lanes right now, trying to do everything he can to keep himself out in front to get the win here. As they're coming up on the lap truck of Marshall Johnson. He's going to try to stay down off the racetrack, and he will let the field by as well, as Wilkerson's going to take 2 laps to go. Kevin Powell, though, trying to get something organized up on that high line. Trying to make that high lane work. Jonathan Jennings laying back just a little bit, trying to get a run himself with DJ Honeycutt. This is about to get exciting as we have just a lap and a half to go, and Wilkerson gets the shove from McMahon as they work around the injured car of St. Cor. Now the field makes their way off a turn number 4. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Daytona. Daniel Wilkerson leads Justin McMahon, but for how long, as that top lane is trying to mount a charge here with Kevin Powell and Hunter Simpson up there on the high side. Eddie Rivers trying to get to the back bumper of the 33, but Daniel Wilkerson's going to lead off of turn number 2. Down the backstretch they come for the final time. Oh, 1 truck up in the wall. They're wrecking behind. Mike Leftwich is around. I believe that's Chris Leftwich as well. That's going to take a couple trucks off that high lane. No caution because it's the white flag lap. Daniel Wilkerson trying to make that truck as wide as he can as he comes off of turn number 4. Down to the stripe, and Daniel Wilkerson is going to win here at Daytona in the season finale. Regular season finale, excuse me. Justin McMahon brings it home in second. Jonathan Jennings comes home third, but man, what a run for Daniel Wilkerson. Showed some speed in qualifying. Uses his strategy to keep himself up in the mix and brings that 78 machine home with the win. While they come around, let's see if we can see what happened to Mike Leftwich here. Looks like just a little bit of contact from Chris Leftwich sends him down. We see the incident there, but how about this? Daniel Wilkerson comes down to the start-finish line where he's going to celebrate his win here tonight. As the 33 is Simpson coming in, giving him a little celebratory bump right there as we take a look at our final results. And Daniel Wilkerson getting the win here tonight. Justin McMahon comes home second. Jonathan Jennings in third. Kevin Powell and DJ Honeycutt round out your top five. Tyler Honeycutt brings it home in sixth. Hunter Simpson in seventh. Mike Hayes, Eddie Rivers, and Chuck Cobb round out your top 10. Ricky Hudges comes home 11th. Kevin Thompson back in 12th. Jeremy Cootie back in 13th. Rusty Lynn 14th. And Mike Leftwich in the 15th position. Chris Leftwich in 16th. Joey Beck 17th. Miguel Carrera back in 18th. 19th will be Gary Armijo. And then Donnie Honeycutt comes home in the 20th position. Andrew St. Cyr 21st. Steve Gerber back in 22nd. Marshall Johnson 23rd. Adam Gardner, Dwayne Honeycutt, and Jeffrey Wimmer round out the rest of the field here tonight at Daytona as we get ready to talk to our top three drivers. Starting with our third place finisher, the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Coming home in third. I know you're running up front all night long, doing a lot of pushing, getting a lot of pushes there, and just didn't have enough at the end there. Anything differently you could have done, maybe coming down to the stripe to maybe get yourself in position?
Just clearing the outside line, really, but I was kind of satisfied without, just getting to the finish without wrecking. I don't normally finish these things.
For sure. Super speedways can be a tough mistress for a lot of people here. And that was the thing, trying to stay out front and keep yourself out of trouble. We did have that one big wreck there just before the halfway mark. I believe that happened right behind you. Was that kind of the strategy tonight, staying up front, stay out of the mess?
Yeah, I learned staying up front is the place to be. I've tried it every which way, and every time I get wrecked, so the front's the best place to be.
Well, great run for you here tonight, getting yourself the win. I'm sorry, getting yourself the podium up in third place in the regular season finale. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, Daniel on the win, and the races he puts on every week, and all my teammates, and Shoney's and Christopher Simon. I know he's not here tonight. He's in the hospital, so I want to say I hope he gets to feeling better.
For sure, our thoughts are with him as well. And again, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing what you can do here in the postseason.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your third place finisher, Jonathan Jennings. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Justin McMahon. Justin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Coming home second, kind of back to the front, kind of all over the place here tonight, keeping yourself out of trouble and getting yourself the second place finish here up on the podium. Were you content pushing Daniel to the win, or were you going to try to make a move there if you had a little bit more help?
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna try to help Daniel out as soon as I knew that he got up to the front and he had that outside line moving and he got down in front of me. At that point, him and I were kind of talking. He kind of needed the points and the race win to at least lock himself into the playoffs. So I think that did it for him by getting the win, obviously. So I was trying to help him out, and it actually turned out well for him because he got a hell of a run there on the outside in that last after the green flag pit stop. So he busted his ass to get up there, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I was willing to work with him, get him the win.
Yeah, it got a little hairy there though towards the end. We saw the lap trucks not pulling down on the apron. Did that concern you guys at all as you were making your way through there, or did you know they were? Do you have enough respect for them and enough knowing they were going to stay out of the way for you?
Well, for me, it was hard to. I was just kind of listening to Daniel to let me know when they were coming, because I couldn't see through his rear spoiler and through the windshield of his truck. So I was kind of just playing it by ear through him. And when he told me that they were staying low, and I made sure that I was clear high for us to be able to go up and around. But yeah, it was a little hairy. The whole race was a little. The truck seemed unstable for some reason in this one today. They seemed like they're a little all over the place, but. No, the lap cars. I mean, they did what they needed to do. I mean, you don't want to really risk them to drop down to the apron in the middle of a corner and risk wrecking themselves and taking out the whole field. So it allowed us just to be able to make our move high or low wherever we needed to. It was a little chaotic, but all in all, it was pretty good race, good finish.
Yeah, it seems like these trucks on the super speedways are a little more unstable than they have been before, but man, getting yourself up into second place, not too shabby. Before we let you go, anyone would thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I want to give Daniel a huge shout out for the win tonight. That was awesome. Glad to see him win. Get him up here finally. Get him a nice win. Get him a nice. He should give himself a nice trophy for this win here, but I don't know if he will. But I'm glad we got him in the playoffs, and it should be fun. And then shout out to Group 6 Interactive for the sponsor on the truck, and Eddie and all the other guys in the team, and Gary for joining us.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Good luck going into the postseason, and we look forward to seeing how the season plays out for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
As your second place finisher, Justin McMahon. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, Daniel Wilkerson. Daniel, got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Man, what a run for you here tonight. You had that outside lane moving and getting yourself up to the front, man. That was impressive. Congratulations on the win, man. What was the strategy coming into the race tonight, and how were you able to get hooked up on that hop lane to get that run like you did?
Well, I was 13th in points, and this is the cutoff race, so I had to win or else gain like, depending on how the people did in front of me, probably either 3 or 15 points. So I really needed the win. So I don't know, just had some really good teammates, and they really worked with me really well. And at the end, I think that line just kind of opened up for me at the top, and we got a heck of a run. And Kevin gave me a heck of a push there, and we got all the way up, and then I got down in front of Justin, who's my another teammate of mine, and he just pushed me to the win. So it was just, man, I couldn't have done it without all the guys that helped me during the race. I mean, that's who I got to thank most, man. They really helped me out.
And we're talking, I was talking with Justin there about the lap traffic there being a little sketchy there. I saw you having to lead almost both lines for a moment. That concern you at all, or did you have any concerns that maybe the yellow would come out there with a couple laps to go and you'd have to battle through a restart?
Yeah, definitely. Because that restart, I knew if we did that, it was going to go 3 wide, and who knows what was going to happen. But yeah, the lap cars, it was kind of, they kind of showed up, one at a time, and you just was hoping they would keep their line low, and they did. They did a really good job. I mean, some of those guys got off, got below, down on the apron, and then got, down low on the back stretch, which really gave us some room. So I appreciate that from them, just being nice like that, because they could have made it, pretty heck for us, to be honest. So, but no, it was it was a fun race, man. I had a blast.
Well, you get yourself a win here in the last race of the regular season that locks you into the postseason. That's got to feel really, really good with the momentum on your side moving into the playoffs. So good luck in the playoffs. And before we let you go, anyone thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Oh, yes, sir. I got to thank Shoney's for all they do for us, man. Just the sponsorship. I got to thank Loud Pedal Racing. Again, I've got to thank everybody, that helped me tonight, working with me and the admins that work so hard and just all the drivers that really make this league successful. And thank y'all for an awesome broadcast. Appreciate it.
I appreciate that as well. And Justin said you should make yourself a nice trophy after tonight. So we'll have to see if you post that in the forums there. No, I'm just playing around. But good luck with the rest of the season. Good luck with the playoffs. And we look forward to seeing how your playoffs go this season.
All right, man. I appreciate it, Josh.
Have a great night.
You too.
So there you have it. Your winner here, Daniel Wilkerson, getting the win here at Daytona. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Don't forget to join us back here in about a half-hour time as the SCSRA truck season continues at Charlotte in just about a half-hour time. So, again, our playoffs here in the truck series, Shoney's Truck Series, start next week. So join us right back here as the truck series playoffs take off from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Again, my name's Josh Hall. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch, don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our great partners down below, including our halfway sponsor, Tiffany Leftwich. Of course, Shoney's. Show them the love. Butt Kicker, Race EPI, IntensityBroadcasting.com. And, of course, as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.